Muffin is going to do Sara Bash. He is going to use Bashes.
A minute away from his PB, everything goes, wow! Oh my god!
Is that faster?
Is that faster? Big jerk sometimes. He doesn't want to play nice. Oh my good lord!
What a save!
Oh! He makes it! Wow.
Oh my god! Nice.
Who will win? Welcome everybody to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament 2019. We're currently in the bracket stage, as you can see, round of 16. And this race is going to be actually a match between Ronny and Hydra. It's going to be best of 3. We're only going to see the first 2 of these races for today, and then we'll find out if we are going into a game 3. On commentary for this one, my name is Spark, and I am joined by Elo Jiminy. Hi, Elo.
Hi, Spark, and thank you for the introduction. So we do have 2 Goliaths of the Ori community in this. Although the seeding doesn't really put them that close, Hydra is a really good runner and has been for a long time. Ronny currently holds the first seed, and as you see in the qualifying time, he got a mammoth of a 28:47, which is absolutely insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that qualifier time is an average time though, so it's not like the best time that they've gotten during the qualifier race. It's in fact an average of the best 3 races that they've gotten. So Ronny definitely showing a really scary consistency with his time right there. Of course, as you can also see, he holds a world record in another category that is fairly similar, a little bit longer than this one, and he's actually 2nd place on the leaderboard for this category all skills as well. So definitely a scary opponent for Hydra.
Yep, and between the 2 routes, we're not going to see a massive difference. They're both going for the crazy juggle routes, so they won't lose any time, get any time there. Although we will be seeing Hydra get the 4th health cell in Glades, so you'll see a bit of a discrepancy within the first split, but generally they're going punch for punch in this matchup.
Yeah, no really major strat differences. Like in the early game, Hydra will also be going for the Slime Generous side route. We'll explain that when we get to that. And actually, Ronny is attempting to catch the same cycle, which is pretty interesting, because normally only the Genocide route can really make this cycle unless you're like crazily fast. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ronny actually gets to make it in these races today.
Yeah, by no means is that an easy feat. He is going to place a little bit of safety save there, but it's very recently been found that you can make that cycle, and the fact that he's going to try and do that in a race is just, it's either crazy or genius.
As it goes with speedrunning, it's one of these 2, and if you're at the high times, it probably tends to be more in like the crazy area of things. And we're going to see some really crazy strats, like the crazy juggle. It has the crazy in its name, and that's not even the craziest strat that we are probably going to see from both of these runners today.
Yep, looks crazy, is crazy, but these 2 runners are just masters of the game. Absolute masters, so it's not too much of a difficult task for them, but that is way later in the game. Right now, we're just going to be jumping, bit of shooting, and trying to get to that wall jump tree, hopefully without any deaths from both of the runners.
Yeah, it's unlikely that you really die in this early wall jump area. There's nothing really that can kill you, but it might happen. I don't really expect it to happen though, so for now we will see them put their newly found science skill to use, shooting the Frankies. That's the shooting path that you alluded to just a second ago, Elo, and looks like no real time difference there. As expected, they are both really used to the early game. Top runners, they tend to be around in Glades for a while.
When you get to this level of play, you get resets thick and fast, so they are so used to Glades that they could do this blindfolded, and as was shown in the miscellaneous skills, Hydra has actually done a blindfolded run all the way to the Ginso escape, which is impressive and absolutely insane that someone would even try that in this game.
Sounds like something Hydra would do, though. So,
That's
Not
always a
really
good thing. You never know what you're going to get when Hydra's in a race. So he did tell us kind of what he expects, but even then, Hydra is the type of guy who just pulls out random things in his run and leaves everyone just jaw dropped.
Oh, actually missing the keystone there. He turned around a little bit faster, so his ghost orb will be just a little bit slower than Ronnie's. Now Ronnie on the left side, of course, going for the 3 HP, and I expect Hydra to, yep, make a little turn for the 4th HP that we explained earlier.
Yep, so this is the only time difference that we're going to see. There was a slight mishap from Hydra. He was at 2 health for the Ghost Star, and unfortunately, I lost him a second, maybe 2, and other than that, we're going to be about 10 seconds apart if nothing goes wrong on the way to the wall jump tree.
And so far, looking really smooth for both of them, apart from these little major time stays that actually can add up on the wall jumps, but like that split takes around 3 minutes to do, and apart from these really minor optimizations, that's not really much you can do, but it can add up, and so the top runners tend to squeeze out some seconds, and I have no idea where they come from, to be honest.
Yeah, we see Hydra, he's shaking his mouse a little bit at that bramble wall. He didn't get the experience that he wanted, so he had to take that flower jump, which Ronnie also did miss. So that gives Ronnie a little bit more of an edge on top of the already lead that he's getting from this hell cell.
Now on the left side, Ronnie will be taking this flower right here, and he's going to get the level up and destroy all of these Brems. We have seen that being executed a lot throughout this tournament already, and apart from that, just making his way over to the Black Burrows, Hydra on the right now, getting his same level up. He will be looking to grab as much experience as he can in order to set up for his genocide route.
Yeah, the XP is really tight in the early game. It kind of eases off towards the late game, but we will see both of these runners do different strats towards the Blackroot Burrows, which they are coming up to very quickly now, so it'll be interesting to see if they can manage it well, which I imagine they can, because they are very good at this game, so it's only to see. Hopefully they will get the same cycle if Ronnie doesn't screw up, but any slight movement errors will make him not be able to get the cycle that he is looking for.
So when I will be watching Ronnie in order to see if he gets the cycle, I probably can't tell if he's good. Maybe you will be able to tell, not sure.
Yeah, I will. I've went for it many times, failed it many times. I would never go for it in a race, but Ronnie is crazy and he is doing it. Second place in the world of the tables, so I hope he can pull it off. If anyone can do it, it's definitely this guy.
So far looking good to me, at least. Of course, there is an orb jump that I think is probably the area where you lose the most time.
So he is
getting his level up.
Ronnie's definitely on the cycle right now. He got the first frame pickup from the orb, so this makes his cycle really easy to pick it up. He now has the decision. He can either go before the laser fires, which is kind of crazy, and it's a little bit more free, but he might not feel comfortable with it, and we'll see what he does here. He's going to place a save just in case he dies, and he is going to wait for the laser, and it looks like he's got it. If he reaches
wow,
this
okay, that's the cycle.
Wow, that is very
Jesus,
impressive.
Ronnie.
There we go, he's
That's
got the mouse
impressive.
waving around. He knows he pulled it off. He's going to be very happy about that. It'll just give him sheds and loads of confidence in this run. What a way to start the race.
Yeah, that was definitely really nice to pull it off. You can see Hydra on the right side. He actually got the same cycle that Ronnie got there. However, his setup was a little bit different. He didn't need to waste any time by jumping up to the orb, so all of that movement from Ronnie really had to be quite fast. Now Hydra has to collect some more slimes to do that, so Ronnie catching that cycle is actually a little bit faster over Hydra doing the genocide route.
Yeah, if anywhere in the start of this run, Hydra would have got some time back that he lost just from doing the genocide route in the early game. So the fact that Ronnie's pulled it off, that means he's just taking the lead, keeping with it, and even grabbing a little bit more time on Hydra. So he is pulling away and he's on such a good place right now.
So far, he's not giving Hydra any second. And also on the left side, you can see him do another trick. This is the cutscene stack. It also saves a little bit of time over what Hydra needs to be doing because he did the genocide route. And also you can drop this orb under the crusher, which people seem to like.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much. It's just a time waste, really, but it sounds really, really satisfying when that orb gets crushed. So this is the difference. On the left-hand side, we saw Ronny do a little bit of blind movement, which is pretty scary in a race. If you drop down there, you can lose up to like a minute if you screw around with that, because usually you're traveling through that place with the orb, but when you don't, you jump differently, so it's really hard to get the normal platform cycles that you used to.
And now this is Magnetus Frankie Walk on the left side for Ronny, so he's not in the clear yet. Hydra on the right side, because of his genocide route, will be having Magnet for this. Ronny can't Magnet the experience to Ori, so he will have to kill the Frankie in a pretty specific spot in order to get its experience. But makes it no problem. Even gets an energy drop there.
I know. And he didn't even use the energy. That's how confident Ronny is feeling at the moment. He could have saved just before he went into the water and just... It didn't waste any time. It would have saved him if he died. But he's like, nah, screw it. I'm feeling confident. I'm getting everything I want, so why not take the risk?
And proven to us that he indeed didn't need this energy. Now Hydra is also through the Death Gauntlet. Ronny on the left side will be attempting the early Grotto cycle, while Hydra nails his Death Glide and gets it no problem at all. I'm pretty excited about this. I guess this is a really good pace for him.
This is an insane pace. This is a 27 pace. And to put that in some perspective for people who don't know that, there's only 2 people in the world with a 27, and Ronny is one of them. Ooh, on the right-hand side, unfortunately, Hydra just misses the early Grotto cycle, which means he will lose 8 more seconds to Ronny.
Yeah, did he get a weird ramp or did he not get the ramp? I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, he got a weird ramp.
Yeah, he didn't get the ramp the way he wanted to. So, with Ronny being on the 27 pace, it's definitely something that Hydra would have liked to get. Now also really nice blind movement from the other left side. So this is a little bit of a high five right here with Hydra. We will be knowing about how much ahead Ronny is at this point once he reaches this tree. But I guess it's probably like around 20 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, we just got in from the truck that Ronny just got an 8:49 dash time, which is an absolutely monster of a time. He is on such a good pace right now.
Second try Grotto skip, though, so losing a little bit of time to that. But like his recovery was so fast, it's definitely not an insurmountable time loss.
Yeah, he lost like 4 seconds maximum to it, so he's still heading towards that 27.
Still, if Hydra gets this, first try does not get it, gets it second try as well. So, okay, messing up the ninja jump there a little bit. But he's definitely keeping up, considering that he was not really feeling too confident. But so far, yeah, Ronny is not really giving him a chance right now. We'll see if Ronny can manage to continue that throughout this race.
Yeah, in the grotto, the wall jumps are really hard to do, and there's 2 people that I really admire for their grotto movement and just their wall jumps in general, and Ronny is one of them. His movement is just so beautiful to watch, so precise, and he even got Gandalf to be nice to him. He is having the dream run right now.
Saving all the frames, really. But yeah, to come back to just Ronny's movement in general, like he does a really weird ninja jumping, you could say. Like he does them by default input method, like spacebar jumping, and that sounds really crazy. Nice Swamp God cycle there, by the way, from Ronny. Okay, now it's not anymore.
Yeah, he missed one of his jumps, so he couldn't get it. Okay, but it's a very minor time loss. Tiny death from Hydra there. Doesn't really lose any time. He even got the hyper speed, so he loses even less time than he would have.
Yeah, intentional hyperspeed, like that was looked almost like it was intentional right there. Not really losing any time now. Hydra is taking this cell up on the top. I think he normally does crazy juggle, so not sure why he takes it, to be honest. Also trying for the God cycle, did not get it though.
Yeah, he might not be feeling it this run. He's done a few minor mistakes, nothing major at this moment, but this is what we said about Hydra. You never know what he's going to do, and he doesn't know what he's going to do until he's actually in the race. So taking that cell, I would imagine that he's thought, I don't want to do the C juggle right now. I'm not feeling too confident, so there's not too much of a time difference between the strats, and it'll be interesting to see if he does go for that later on.
Or never mind that. We are actually being informed by our truck with this really vital information. Really, you saw Hydra maybe get up the ability menu right there. He took that extra cell because he leveled up the wrong ability at the double jump blind movement, so he needed to get an extra ability set in order to fix that, because he absolutely needs to be at the charge dash at a certain point.
Yeah, so it's... Ooh, we're getting to see some telehops from Hydra. The difference between the telehops and what Ronny does is very, very minimal. If Ronny got his cycle perfectly, which I don't know if he did, the movement that he does is pretty much equal to telehops. It just looks a lot more stylish.
And Ronny barely missing his 3 cycle on the mini boss. He was like 1 shot off there. So really close for him. With a quick flame skill, it is possible to 3 cycle this boss. Hydra will only be able to 4 cycle it. So this is again a little bit of potential time save for Ronny because of his riskier strategies.
Yeah, the 3 cycle and the 4 cycle with magnet and non-magnet are pretty much as hard to get as each other. So to get the 4 cycle for Hydra, which he needs to do if he doesn't want to lose any more time, is a really hard task. So it'll be interesting to see if he can go for it. But it is ridiculously hard.
So now Ice on the right side, while Ronny will be just traveling up through the Ginza tree, setting up his Kidu.
And is Hydra going to get the 4 cycle? It looks like he missed a couple of shots there, so he'll just be getting the average of the 5 cycle. Unfortunately, losing a bit more time to Ronny.
Yeah. Okay, that'll good. Now we'll be saving in order to get back to 3 health.
And an update from the truck, Ronny is plus 2 seconds from his PB right now, just to put that in perspective of how insane this run is right now. He is still on the 27 pace with these mistakes.
Like almost half the run is done already, which is crazy if you think about it, but again, we have 2 very fast runners running this. So even for Hydra on the right side, having a 14-12 bash time, like that's definitely 28 pace. So he's still having a pretty good run for him.
Yeah, definitely. We're into the kind of splits where everything goes wrong. For me, at least. I don't know if it's the same as you, Spark, but Stomp and Bash, they are just such time sinks. You can easily lose a lot of time to very minor movement errors.
Yeah, Hydra actually demonstrating it a little bit there for us. He missed a bash onto the ceiling that he wanted to break, so the projectile didn't hit it in the correct place. But just in general, you're definitely correct, El. There's so many things to really mess up, like especially in the mid game, I would argue, with swamp entry. And then depending on your nerves, maybe even not skipping the Kuru cutscene, which instantly kills your pace at times like these. So yeah. Eyes on the left side though, so because this will be swamp entry for Ronny.
Yep, and he's doing the blind movement, which makes it a little bit harder. He got the movement absolutely perfectly. He made it all the way to the frog without any problems, so this is pretty much the perfect situation for him to be in right now.
I can tell he definitely wants the 27 in a tournament race. Like, that would be really amazing to get it. I will not be able to tell, but you will probably be able to tell a little bit better if he's on pace still.
He is definitely still on pace. He hasn't made any big errors since he was at the Bash tree, so the Storm tree is going to be super good. He's looking like he's going to get a sub 16, which is just a legendary pace for anyone to get.
Wow. Definitely. So the runners had like a 1 minute delta at the second mini boss in the Ginzo tree, and like we said, Hydra is not having a bad run for himself, like still 28 pace. So this, just to put into perspective of what crazy of a pace Ronny is on right now, and actually drops into the water. So this killed that pace. He's still about a minute ahead though.
Yep, unfortunately that seems to be the end of the 27 dream for Ronny, so I think he'll be a lot more comfortable now. He probably won't go for the insane strats that he would if he wanted to get the 27. I think that would be in his mind at the moment, but considering that's gone, he'll probably feel a lot of relief because there's no pressure. I say that, and he goes and takes another death. Fortunately, he did do a save, so he's not going all the way back to the swamp tree, so that's at least something he can take away.
little bit of a high five again by our runners. Hydra did a very quick swamp entry for himself, and with Ronny taking a few deaths out of the stomp area, he must have managed to catch up quite a bit, so Ronny can't be allowed to do too many more mistakes if Hydra keeps up this pace for himself.
Yeah, Hydra's playing super consistent. Ooh, he misses one double bash.
Drops a double bash, okay.
Is not the end of the world. He managed to catch it, and he makes it all the way to the stomp tree with minimal problems. Oh, I'd like to direct your attention to Ronny's screen on the left.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be doing the spider sack double bash strat. And, oh! He did not expect that, neither did I, so he's going to take the quick route, and he's going to eat the time that he would have saved, unfortunately. He even waits for the save, which I don't think was the correct idea. I think the cutscene versus the wait and then the exit is probably more than if he just ate the cutscene time.
Yeah, I believe you save about 1 second with the reload for the cutscene, so you're probably right in that regard, Ella. So, regarding that spider sack strat, there's definitely going to be a race 2. Maybe Ronny will be able to show us that in the second race. So far, still a really crazy pace for him.
Yeah, that strat saves 100 frames. I know Hitachi will be loving me for saying that, not saying 2 seconds.
Now, on the right side, Hydra is doing his Kuro cutscene skip and gets it. Easy.
It's what we expect from these two brilliant runners. We don't see any Kuros unless we really have to. So on the right, we're going to see how it's normally done, and you take a little bit of a damage boost, you save up at the top instantly, and then save all the time that Ronny did not. So he's gaining a little bit of the lead back from Ronny.
We will get an update of how far Ronny is ahead right now. That Frankie drop is dangerous. Okay, saves it with some bashes. Definitely a little bit of a clutch situation right there for Hydra. But now he got his charge for his skill.
Nope, he does not like that. He leveled up the wrong thing at that moment, waving his mouse about like a madman. He's not happy with himself. But on the left-hand side, we are seeing the fast stompless. Ronny's shot looked pretty good. He doesn't ever miss this trick, so it would be surprising if he did. And there it is. The rocks fall on Kuro's head. He gets the ability cell and will be on to the Sorrow Bash, which is a pretty difficult trick. Would you reckon?
It definitely is, especially with the setup that Ronny uses, I'd argue, because he has a little bit of a special setup for that Sorrow Bash, which I believe saves about 1 second over the usual setups that people tend to do. But for a runner of Ronny's caliber, like in his PB attempts, he needs every second.
Yep, it is not easy when you're at the top of the game to get a PB when every second lost is just a dagger in the heart. Well, here we go. We see the triple bash dash set up for the Sorrow Bash, and like clockwork, he pulls it off. He doesn't even bash the bird to do the rocket jump. He is on form, feeling confident. He's just trying to end this run and finish quickly.
Going into his crazy juggle right now, so he can't afford to miss any of the 2 frame inputs. Looking smooth so far. I think he's in the floor. I don't think he's going to miss it. There we go.
That was it.
Hydra.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Yep,
Yeah.
So putting down the save, he's in the clear. Hydra got his fast stompless, is actually, again, on a fairly decent pace.
Yes, by no means is this a bad run. He gets had a little bit of trouble with his level ups there. He's not having a good game with these level ups at the moment, but we're in the fun part of the game now, and this is where Hydra has all of the fun. He loves his fast movement, so we will be seeing all of that right now. And we will get to see if he does the crazy juggle finally.
I think he actually has to, right?
Did you see how close he was to those spikes?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Also, Ronny on the left side was very close to some spikes. He actually took a little bit of a death there.
Here we go. C juggle. Oh, ooh, the platforms can give you a lot of hassle. He got the little bit of a bash pattern of the incorrect situation, but he manages to get the frog in the right place And he's up to safety.
Avoiding the spikes.
That was pretty spooky, I'm not gonna lie. But he manages to
Little
get
bit,
past it pretty.
With the way that a rocket jump works, you sometimes tend to get thrown in a little bit of a different direction that you kind of intend to, because you might have angled your bash slightly differently. So Hydra quickly had to adjust that with the direction input there and managed to not hit the spikes.
Yeah, it's not a good situation to be. There's so many spikes around and anything can kill you. So on the left-hand side, we are seeing some super fast movement, and Ronnie said before the race that he was going to go for some stair cancels.
Okay, had the save at the start of Misty though. That's something he told us, so really valuable safety save. Otherwise, he would be back at like a charge jump right now, right? So pretty much what Hydra is getting.
It would have tied this match up, and it would have been amazing for everyone to watch, but... Oh no!
Okay. Ronnie is at 3 HP, so every spike hit is going to kill him in Misty Woods, and if he drops a Storm Cancel like he did right there, that's instant death for him.
Yeah, he used a little bit too much energy, so he might have been used to... Oh my god, those stair cancels! Ronnie, please! My heart can't take this anymore.
Yeah, that was scary. Okay, but he's fine now. Still has a little bit of way to go before he reaches the climb tree. We will see if he decides to do anything safety-wise or just keep going. Looks like he's keeping. He keeps going.
No saves, he is going full crazy. And also, he did mention that he's not watching the stream at all, so he has no idea where Hydra is, how he's doing, and he's just not letting go. So even after those deaths, he was still going for ridiculous strats.
Oh my
no!
God.
Misty is not being kind.
Yeah, that is really rough for Hydra. Now he's at 4 HP, so okay, that spike, these spikes are insta-kill for him at 4 HP, but the Misty spikes actually aren't, but he unfortunately dashed into the spikes, and this kind of resets your invulnerability state, and so he kind of took double the damage at the same time, which was really rough.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see. Both of these runners, Misty is just taking their time away from them, and it's very rare to see from these guys. It's... yeah, words don't have anything, no.
Yeah, nothing means anything anymore.
What are we watching?
Okay, to stop the nihilism for a second here. Yeah, so this is Misty Woods. Ronnie is about to end his Misty Woods right here with a mini boss quick kill. I would love to see him get it. That means to not see this mini boss. Okay, that still counts.
That was an amazing recovery. He wanted to kill the one on the left like instantly, but he realized he didn't do that, and he did a little adaptation, and he managed to kill it really, really fast anyway.
Oh no!
Man.
Okay, taking... Okay, spikes are definitely not friendly to him in this raid.
Yes, this is not what you want to see from getting to Misty. This is the part of the game where health is way too small to make any major mistakes. Ooh, he almost went for the non-stop weave there, but he managed to just save it for the dash.
He almost got it. Also not bashing the bird, just doing the rocket jump.
It looks so nice.
Right.
Doesn't save
hardly
any time.
Yeah, but a little bit, like, save the frames.
Yeah, it's like literally 20 to 40 frames. Totally worth it.
I mean, people do spider sex strats.
Wow, that's like 100 frames. That's totally worth the time save, right?
Oh, that's like 4 times the frames. Okay, you got me there, El.
So here we see Ronnie. He's going to pick up the final skill of the game, the grenade tree, which allows us to do some crazy grenade jumps on the way to the end of the game.
Not sure how many of these he's going to show us. Oh god, Hydra, why? Taking another death. So he's seen this area quite a lot in his run. I'm not sure if he's maybe a little bit tilted or just really nervous right now because for some reason his muscle memory isn't really working.
Yeah, I think at this point the tilt level is pretty high. He's not really a tiltable guy like when I've played with him, but this many deaths in a race is not good. I think he's already wrote off this one and is already thinking about the next race.
Yeah, I definitely hope that for his next race it will be a little bit less spaghetti like. He had a pretty good early game overall. Mid game wasn't too bad for himself. Of course, that was the case for Ronny too.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see one final grenade jump from Ronny just coming up, and he's going to make his way to the Haru escape. And we're going to see something interesting that not all of the runners go for. This is some nice stair cancels there, always nice to see. But he's going to go for the warm skip, which requires a weird input where we kind of make the cutscene spawn and then exit. Oh, Hydra.
He's not doing any safety strats.
He's tempting fate. He is tempting fate at the moment.
Okay, so on the left side, door warp for Ronny coming up. Will of course be first try. There we go. And now he's going to do his warp skip.
Yep, so this works with a enter the cutscene, you do a save exit, but with the exit you have to scroll menu the exit, so it's really fast and the game gets confused, and that causes it to play when you enter the game again. Unfortunately, he misses it first try, and he's not going for it again. He's just doing the normal one, and fortunately you don't get any blind movement after that, so it's a little bit easier.
Hopefully he still remembers how to do this escape without the blind movement though, which can be.
Yes, I hear that's hard. No, Hydra!
Oh Jesus!
Hydra's still going for absolutely insane strats at the moment. I think he's kind of just keeping him warm. He's trying to do everything crazy this run, get all of the deaths out, so next run will be perfect.
Oh yeah, this is just a warm-up run for him.
Yeah, man. It ain't over yet. We're in a best of 3, guys. Don't count Hydra out just yet.
Now Ronny of course still has not finished the run, but he's out of the water, so only needs to basically not die to one rock that might be here in his way, so he should be fine unless he softlocks, and that was a really fast setup and he's already through.
Beautiful. We're gonna expect a mid 29, which is it's a really good pace. Despite all the deaths that he took, he's still getting a 29. That's the caliber of runner that Ronny is, so good to see him get a 29. He'll be happy with that.
Now, of course, he did not watch Hydra, so this might actually have been why he chose to not attempt warp skip a second time, because he wasn't really sure of Hydra's pace, and Hydra is definitely capable of pulling off a mid 29, so maybe it was a safety decision for Ronny in order to take this race.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And we see now to jump past the final tree, and his final time is 29.24. GG to Ronny, taking the first victory of this best of 3.
And Hydra, of course, knows this. In fact, he actually already congratulated him in the SRL chat right now, so...
Sportsmanship on form for Hydra.
And here's a very long save anywhere for Hydra.
This is a Hydra special right here. Hydra loves doing all of the hard things behind an SA for minimal time saves. So we've seen him do Sorrow before with a SA, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he's pretty much the only guy that does this SA as well. Doesn't save too much time, I think it's like less than a second, but he does it anyway because he can.
Of course, like we mentioned at the start, Hydra has already finished half the game blindfolded, so he's capable of doing things blind and semi-blindly especially. And indeed he makes it through, and here's where the time save comes in. Just quickly saving without having to put a save down, basically, saving all this energy.
The most of the time save comes from the bash and double jump, because you can make it over the cutscene more, so you don't get any of the slow movement, and that's pretty much where all the time save comes from. Now,
will we be going for the quick laser cycle as well? Not too sure how these work. Okay, he's doing a grenade jump. Sure, why not? Okay, that was would you call it perfect timing? I mean, the end result wasn't perfect.
Perfect in the worst possible way. But yeah, on the end of this run, I imagine we're going to see some absolutely ridiculous grenade jumps coming out of Hydra. He knows Ronny's finished, he knows all of the mental strats, so I'd be surprised if we don't see them all.
Yeah, he can have a little bit of fun right here. With all these storm cancels, okay, that boulder is not... Nice climb on the wall there, so... To all of you saying this skill isn't useful, you got proven wrong.
No, it is. We are not watching Indiana Jones. This is still, in fact, Ori and the Blind Forest, guys. Don't tune in. And are we going to see some crazy grenade jumps? So far, it's normal movement. Disappointed, Hydra. I expected all of the grenade jumps from you. Ooh, goes back to get a little bit of damage from that guy. He does not like that swarm. He's killing it.
I think he wants some health back for his wall skip, and there we go. He's at 5 health. So
Perfect.
Hydra was saying, "No, I'm not going to take 6 health. I can do it with 5 health." So, getting back the health from the enemies, why not?
This is
Okay,
the
and now it's back
Hydra
at 2. But he has enough.
Oh no, he's
not.
decided not to go for the warm skip. So if you do the warm skip, you do not get a health and energy refill. So that means you cannot complete the poison swim at the end, and you will have no energy for the entire escape, which you kind of need. So we're just going to be seeing the normal cutscene, and let's see if he can get first try. Easy task.
Of course he does.
What other try is there than first try, really? Who gets different tries than first?
And if it's not first, it's like nth, and n is greater than 10 or something like that. So you really want to get it first try.
Yes, it's not the trick that gets better with time, is it? So we're just gonna see the beautiful escape from Orion Black Forest. I think this is second, in my opinion, third best escape. What about you? Order of escapes, where is final escape?
Oh, okay. So it would have to be, for me, it would have to be Wind Escape, Ginzo Escape, and then this escape, yeah.
That's mine as well. Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Only third best escape, and unfortunately the only one we still do in this category. But that's okay, because the movement is so awesome.
All on escape, best escape. Confirmed.
Yep, GG to Hydra, by the way.
Yep, gets his grenade jump, no soft locks, no nothing. He's just gonna waddle his way to second place, which is second best, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't let the time deceive you. Like, if you remember, he had a little bit of spaghetti in Misty Woods and Sorrow area.
Yeah, just a little bit. I
And
think I remember one.
Yeah,
There wasn't
which,
any more,
like,
was there?
probably lost like 2 seconds to that movement. So apart from that, really, really close to his PB, obviously. No, but seriously, I expect him to be warmed up now and give us a great showing. Like, the early game was still really good for him in this run. It just all fell apart, basically, in Misty Woods.
Yep, so hopefully all of the nerves will be gone at this moment. Because at the start of the games, you're kind of like, ooh, what if everything goes wrong? And now Hydra has got rid of all that. He did everything wrong. He took all of the deaths that might have appeared in the best of 3, all in the first race. This is perfect tactical play by Hydra right here.
And as someone who, in fact, has participated in the best of 3, at least for me, nerves were better the second time around, because he kind of gotten used to the whole race situation. Is it like that for you too, Elo?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you always get nerves at the start of the races when you... I'd say, for me at least, once you get past Frankie Fight, that would be nice. Frankie Walk, nerves kind of settle a bit, but it's always there for the first race a little bit more.
So we're going to be having a 5-minute break just for our runners to maybe do a little bit of a bathroom break, or just collect their energy, their literal physical energy, not their in-game energy.
Power nap. So, Spark. Well, I hope you refilled your beverages and got a little bit of rest, because here we are back with Ronnie versus Hydra, round 2. Sparrow, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
I definitely going to think that Hydra will be having a better race for himself. Maybe, like if you remember Ronnie's first race, he was for more than half of the run he was on PB pace, which for him means a 27 pace. Maybe he will get to reproduce that in this race, which would definitely be nice just for us. Probably not for Hydra, because that would leave him without any real chance of winning this. But yeah, Hydra, he probably wants a little bit more for this race.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
knowing Hydra, I expect that he's still going to do all of the strats no matter what.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hydra is not one to stop when things go bad. He doubles down on that bet. He is going to just give it all he's got. He's going to move fast and furious. I hope we're going to see the run of both of their lives at the moment. But for Ronnie, I feel like when you're on a good movement, it's a good movement day. It's not just one race. It's a good day for everyone. So I would be hopeful that we're going to see another insane pace from Ronnie. We can only hope.
Both of our runners were wishing each other good luck before the race, so great sportsmanship, and I can only repeat that as well. Like we said, good luck to both of these runners, because we want to see these crazy paces again.
Yeah, we want to either see the best run that these guys can give, or an equally bad run from both of the runners.
Yes,
Either way,
it's
of
still
course.
close.
Yes. But hopefully the first one, because everyone loves to see clean, crisp movement. Just like we're seeing now, they're both collecting sign at exactly the same time. What a race!
Yeah, the early game race is always so close. Of course, then Roddy chooses to break the tie by collecting only, or collecting nothing really, while Hydra is collecting the health cell. Like you see in the first race, I don't expect Hydra to pull off a spontaneous 3 HP route right here.
I mean, if anyone was going to do it, I would put some money on Hydra to
Yeah, you're
take
right in
risk.
that regard.
Try and save all the seconds that he can. But I think the key moment in this race is going to be in Blackwood Borough. So Roddy, last time he did get the cycle that he wanted, but it is a cycle to get. So, Hydra is taking a lot of hits right now. He's on 1 HP.
On 1 HP, this is really scary. I can tell, particularly because there's a sniper in this area, and he's
didn't even
looking to
get a
snipe
health drop.
Hydra.
He's
Yeah,
still not got a health
so-
drop from all of these brambles. What is going on?
We'll
This
see.
game loves to give you those.
How he deals with this, and
Oh, he ran
okay,
away! He ran away! And he got a health drop, so now he's
and
actually
he got a health drop. Yes, this
This
is
is
exactly what he wanted. Not
in Glades. Whenever you need health, it never gives you health. If you want health, nah, not getting it.
Yeah, this was a perfect demonstration of that, getting a health drop from the last slime, and he definitely did not need health after that, so...
What?
Now he wants health though, taking his 4th HP right here.
Yep, so we're not seeing a diverse strat change, unfortunately, so Hydra is sticking to his guns, he's got his strats, he knows what he needs to do this race, and he hopefully will perform to his maximum potential.
And this is a little bit of a fun fact, Hydra is actually on a little bit of a better pace for Warjump right now than he was in his first race, even though I feel like he had a little bit more spaghetti, so this is just kind of how Warjump split works in Ori.
Oh no, Hydra!
Okay. Nice
He did that
adaptation
very
right there,
well.
not dropping into the spikes, because you can see that 1 HP is, XP is actually good, so didn't really lose too much time to that, so
Yep,
nice.
and on the left, we see Ronnie. He got pretty much exactly the same time as he did last run. He is the king of consistency at the moment. Hopefully, we'll see the same clean movement without the Misty Deaths this time. Whew, close race this time. Come on, let's go.
Yes, fingers crossed, definitely fingers crossed. Of course, I expect Roddy to again try for the genocide cycle, so in the early game, Hydra is just bound to be behind unless Ronny messes something up.
What do we call that now? Is it genocideless?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we just call it fast cycle, but that's boring.
Exactly, that just explains it properly without any explanation.
We need the
confuse
memes.
the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just forward that question to the chat, maybe. And we might be finding that out after this race. Hello.
We'll leave it for you to decide. So here we are at BRB on the left-hand side. We will see the first cutscene of the game. It's always nice to see. It means you've got past the evil wall jump, evil glades, which unfortunately you have to come back through, but we put glades behind us and we're moving on to the worst split of the game, in my opinion. BRB.
Especially since the game tends to sometimes drop a jump input, and that's what makes a certain area in BRB really scary, which is the area that Ronny is coming up to right now with the moving platforms right here.
Yeah, and he did get the first frame pickup last time. He has not got it this time, so he cannot afford to lose any time at the moment if he wants to try and make this cycle. So it even depends on how quickly this orb drops for him, which was okay. So he still can make it, but I will be very interested if he still goes for it.
Well, he is... Okay, he stopped a little bit there. This that might have lost him the cycle. Okay.
Yeah. We see the mouse movement from side to side. That is a big scream of hell no, I'm not going for this anymore.
Yeah,
And
there's
we
the
see
stop,
same on
and
the top side.
there's the reload because the platform is just now moving down, so he actually saves a little bit of time making the platform to move up. Hydra actually got his genocide cycle on the right side, so unless he dies to the lasers, which he should not, there we go, he catches the platform cycle, so making up a little bit of time over Ronny there.
Yeah, that's a really good time save for Hydra. It's put him really close. As you can see, they are on the same screen. If it was a multiplayer game, they would be seeing each other right now and giving each other a little high five.
Hydra will of course be killing some more slimes, which Ronny does absolutely not want to kill and did not kill in fact, so that's good, because his XP should be set up quite nicely already for the magnetism route that he's doing. I think he should be like around 6 or something like that. He entered like Boros at 30 XP.
Yeah, 6 is pretty much perfect for what you need to do. It's a little bit RNG based, the XP that he tries to get without the magnet, and there's a 10 that the Frankie drops, so if you're quite high on experience, it's really hard, because if that XP drops in the incorrect way, you never know what's going to happen.
And if you're like too low on XP, like only 1 XP away, that makes it really tough to put the energy into the door before the level up, right? Or is it just like... Okay, drop in the orb under the crusher again.
Ooh, you've got to do that. It doesn't save any time, but it looks nice. We have
Almost
to do
synced up dash cutscene, but Ronny of course has some light movement.
Yeah, so this is the
already
time
ahead.
save that we see from the dash stack. It's more dangerous, but it's got a bigger payoff. And now we go to the double Frankie walk. Will Billy behave for both of these runners? Let's hope so.
Find out after the break. No, we're not actually doing a break. We are
Roll the
continuing. We
commercials.
are going fast. No commercials right here.
Nothing worse than a commercial during such a close race that we are watching right now.
Oh yeah, that would be a perfect time actually to probably do a commercial, but we're not doing that. We're nice people. So actually we are just being impressed by the Frankie block. I think Hydra on the right side should be optimal actually right now, unless the... Okay, of course, as I say that the Frankie decides to stop, so it's not optimal anymore. So Ronny with the Magnetless had to unoptimize the Frankie, and Hydra did not get optimal, so same Frankie cycle for both of them.
I like that. Unoptimized. We're coming out with some crackers on this run. Oh, and I hate Hydra's start. It looks so scary. He baits out the Frankie to jump. He also does a damage boost through the slime. There's so many bits that could go wrong. And somehow he just pulls it off like it's nothing.
And he just does these things for fun. Because he likes doing it.
Ooh, running?
Meanwhile, Ronny at the early Grotto cycle game, we can see it in the replay on the left side. Hydra on the right side is attempting the very same cycle, gets it no problem.
And that means we are still even in the gap towards them. So if one of them missed that, it would have been an 8-second time gain or loss from either of them. But the pressure's not getting to them, so we're seeing the race that we wanted to see so far.
Definitely so far. Like the time that Ronnie has had, basically due to the faster strategies that he's doing, like the 3 HP, the dash stack. Oh, actually he takes a hit from the Frankie dropping down there.
He does that intentionally. It's slightly quicker to do that because of
Oh.
the ninja jumps that he's doing, and he always takes that damage boost, which is pretty spooky, but there's not much that can kill you in that area, and he places a save beforehand, so it's a choice that I don't make personally, but he feels confident with it.
And he's showing us again just his clean Grotto Waltz movement, like nailing all of these tight jumps so far. He actually got a first try Grotto skip as well for himself. Hydra on the right side got it second try just now, losing a little bit of time over Ronnie to that.
Yep, tiny bits of time are all adding up, and Ronnie is loving it. But so far, there's very little difference between these two runners. Hydra's got a little fumble there. Ooh, he almost fell a bit further down. He manages it on that try, and he's gonna head and get his water vein. Gumo, best character. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. He confuses us a little bit, however, in this category because of the sequence break that we do. Things are kind of out of order. Like we're climbing up here, we're actually supposed to see these cutscenes while we're going down. So this is why the water vein is being dropped right now, and we actually already have it in our inventory.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see the confused Gumo. So I would like to direct your attention to Ronnie's side of the screen. He's going to try a very tight first cycle. He's got good movement here, just has to dash through this rock and before the cycle, and he makes it. No damage as well. Really nice to see. That sets him up for a really good time for Ginso.
Hydra on the right side doing the exact same thing. Remember, he is also doing the crazy juggle route. Last time gets the Grotto's, what's that? Swamp God cycle. Yeah, that's what it's called. Oh, and does not faceplant into these spiky arms, and instead he gets the same time save that Ronnie did.
Wow,
and also, that's a really fast Ginso time for Hydra.
Yes. And for Ronnie, they've both got insane Ginso time. So Ronnie is right now +3 on his PB, which again means he's on a 27 pace. This man is just the king of consistency at the moment. He cannot put a step wrong.
Seemingly not letting the tournament nerfs get to him, or maybe he's just that good even with tournament nerfs.
You don't want to see him not in a tournament. Oof.
Oof.
Crazy things.
Hydra doing the telehops again, nailing them, gets himself a nice fast cycle. Actually, he has to wait a little bit for the Kima to move up there before he can get onto the platform.
That's how perfect he got it. He was too quick. I've been recently getting it too quick like Hydra just did, and I'm wondering if he could jump over that and save a little bit of time on the other strats. But that's just a thought. Right, we're going to see if Ronnie can take down this mean little mini-boss in the 3 cycles that he wants to. So far, it's really good. He's got the shot set up, and there we see it, the legend of the 3 cycle. Ronnie showing his amazing prowess.
And rewards himself with a hit after, which is why he took the HP right now, because Ronnie, of course, he's running 3 HP, so he did not want to take 1 damage right there. He wants to be at 3.
And then in that second room, all the time that he saved from that 3 cycle slipped through his fingers like sand, unfortunately, but he's still on a legendary pace at the moment, and he might even be on the way to that 27.
Well, Hydra got himself a pretty quick 5 cycle, but that's still 2 cycles more than Ronnie had, so here's where the quick flame time save really comes in.
Yeah, it doesn't make too much of a difference throughout most of the run, but right there, that time save that you get from a mini-boss is worth all of the hassle of Magnetless. So coming up to the key juke, both of these guys do the same strat, I believe. Although I think Ronnie might add an invisible damage wall climb to it, which is slightly more difficult, a bit more risky, but he's really comfortable with it. So it'll be good to see if he can pull it off. Ooh, doesn't quite take the insta-death on there, and he's not going for the wall climb either. So we won't see too much time difference between these guys on their key juke.
Hydra is actually really close to him. Like for the time that Ronnie is having, like Ronnie was +1 at Bash. So yeah, Hydra managing to keep up with him. That's gotta be pretty good for himself. Actually making a pretty scary Kido right there, and he is going for the wall jump climb. Saved it. I don't really know how he did it right there. But it seemed like he knew that adaptation.
Oh, he didn't quite get the hyperspeed there. It takes a little bit of depth, but that's a very minor time loss. He won't be too mad about that. But it is insane how close this race is at the moment, and it won't get too much different because these guys are pretty much going to be pulling off the same scrats, so it's down to who can pull it off better on this race is going to take it.
So spaghetti-wise, Hydra in the last race really only started having his very own spaghetti in the Sorrow area and the Misty area that followed. So we will see if maybe this time he will have himself a little bit of a better run. Of course, he would need Ronnie to mess up some of his strats in order to really catch up right now.
And speak of the devil, he just got a shot to phase through the rocks, and that means he had to spend about 5 seconds redoing the shot and setting that up. So Hydra is clawing his way back into this race. Come on, Hydra, you can do this. Make it a best of 3.
Setup looks good. And he's also doing the very fast swamp entry with the swag double bash. That's very straight up. Yep.
He got exactly the same shot as Ronnie did, so he won't be saving time on him, unfortunately, but it's not good to see that 2 different times. Not what you want.
The frog shots are pretty magical. Like the collision is a little bit weird, and especially if you shoot them like at the straight angle that Hydra did, they tend to just phase through like we saw them do right there.
Yeah, it's the only downfall of that quick setup. You don't have much time to aim, so it's like, oh, and then if you just put it a bit too vertical, that's exactly what happens, as you said. And we got an update from the truck. Ronnie is +4 from his PV, so he's still on an insane pace. If he keeps it up, he can still 27, which is just insane. This guy.
Even with that little bit of an unfortunate event at the swamp entry. Now this is cool cutscene skip again for Ronnie. This looks good. Like the position and the setup was great as well. So making it through. Hydra is, however, pretty much right on his heels. Like he's not too far behind. And right as they say that he drops Ringo. Now he can only bash him once more, but he gets it. Quick recovery from him. And okay, on the left side, Ronnie is doing the spider section now.
Yeah,
there we go.
He pulls it off. What a guy.
So this is actually a valid 27 should he manage to get it right now.
Yep, it's in his hands. He either drops it or takes it like a champ. And not to put any spotlights on anyone, but Hydra is also +3 from his PB, so both of these guys are so close to their best ever run. This is exactly the race that we wanted. They are just performing so good right now.
Yeah, so definitely I think our theory with especially Hydra just having a warm-up race seems to have been true.
Yes, and unfortunately Ronnie is also having the same race. So their PBs are so separate that if both of them run exactly how they wanted to, Ronnie will win. But this is the best shot that Hydra can put forward, so it's brilliant to see him come back from that first race.
And at the... Okay, Hydra... I think that was an accident, the resolution changing thing right there.
Sometimes you just don't feel comfortable with the resolution that you're at, so you just need to give it a little tweak in the game, and unfortunately, that's his PB pace pretty much out the window unless he can claw it back in the late game. But as we say that, Ronnie's on the left-hand side trying to pull off his fast stompless. The shot looked really good. Just needs to make his way to the ability cell and collect the feather.
Okay, he's always so fast with the ability to that I'm always like, oh, the shot missed, and then, oh no, it hit. Everything is fine when he's just very fast.
Indeed, it makes that look like it's very easy to do, but surprisingly, it's actually not the easiest thing to do. It's pretty hard. Oh, wow!
A cross bash.
He caught the bash on the bird that was dead. He's having a little bit of trouble. Bird boss, please!
Okay, save it and stop. There we go.
Good job, Hydra.
Nothing happened there. You saw nothing. All planned. Nothing went wrong. Everything is fine. Now this is fast stomp for Hydra and Solar Dash for Ronnie.
2 hard tricks. Ooh, Ronnie takes a death, unfortunately.
So that's 27 pace, probably.
Yep, that's gone. That's out the window. He will have lost around 20 seconds from that movement, and that means we're looking at a low to mid 28 if he keeps on trucking. And
not only that, Hydra is coming up to his feather skill right now, so he's not that far behind. They were behind, the delta was like about 30 seconds at charge flame. I expect it to be in a similar range right now.
Yeah, if we didn't have the technical difficulties from Hydra, he would be really, really close at this moment. It looked like he lost about 20 seconds doing what he was doing, so it's a shame to see because it would have made this race even closer than it already is.
So with the 20-second delta, actually, Hydra nailing his Sora Bash first try, so making up a little bit of time over Ronnie there. Now, of course, Ronnie has managed to get his crazy juggle, and Hydra actually accidentally damaged the frog right there, so he can't crazy juggle it all the way up.
No, frog, what are you doing? This frog keeps on shooting, Hydra keeps on catching everything that he fires and damaging the frog. This is not what you want to see. He did a very, very clever little save and death, so it resets the frog's health, which means he doesn't have to do any backup strats. He can just do the crazy juggle as he always wants to, and as he loves to, and as he is performing to perfection.
So not losing any time to the trick itself, but rather to the unfortunate setup, bashing that frog projector back into the frog, just barely, just barely missing the bash onto the frog.
Yeah, and these guys are in the same area. They're like, it's such a close race. This is exactly what I wanted to see from both of these runners.
It is indeed, and so far no real major spaghetti, like just some, like Ronnie messing up his Sora Bash is pretty much the only thing I can think of for him, and then for Hydra changing the resolution.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, they've got everything that they wanted to do. They've done it really quickly. They were both so close to the PB pace. It's insane to see this in a race tournament format.
Now remember, on the left side, Ronnie is in Misty Woods right now. He is at 3 HP. However, that does not stop him to still stomp cancel over the spikes, to which he died to twice in the last race. Now
yes.
Makes it through, no problem.
This is the area that they all dreaded. They've done all of the deaths that they could possibly take in the last run, and now it's just pure clean movement from Ronnie, and we're going to see, hopefully, the same from Hydra. I believe in you, Hydra. Ooh, he spent an energy trying to get the meteor kick without the bash. Unfortunately, he spends one of his energy. Still at 3, so he should be okay. He just can't take any unnecessary saves, which makes the death, if it's coming, a very, very costly.
Now Hydra, of course, is at 4 HP here. Ooh, that was a nice delay onto the on the stomp cancel there in order to maybe breathe and assess the situation. If he could reach far enough, actually drops the energy right there, but there's an energy crystal right here, which he could just take as lost some, like, what's that, 2 seconds maybe? Still, he kind of wants to save the time over Ronnie because Ronnie is not in the clear yet. He is at 3 HP, any death, and they are pretty much tied right now.
Oh, dude, Ronnie, oh no, Hydra got the one dash stomp cancel, and He has no energy left, so that was like a max distance stun cancel. It was perfect, didn't take any damage, and comfortably makes it to the climb tree. He didn't have any saves down, so that makes him breathe a sigh of relief, I imagine. We can see a clean mini boss from Ronny. Oh yes, he is not making the same mistake as last time.
This is what it's supposed to look like, or I guess not look like.
Yes.
Since you can't see the boss.
Oh, we're seeing...
And quickly leaving Misty with some Roddy specific movement, or at least. Okay, Hydra, no problem. Saving the energy.
No, he missed one of the energies. He moved too fast and the energy went high. Ooh, that was a really slow jump as well. He's only got one energy, so he can't do the meteor jumps. The
meatball rocket jump.
Rocket jumps.
Yes.
Up the meatballs. We'll get there in the end. So he saves no time there. He loses a little bit, but he keeps that energy, and that was the important part. So he can kill this mini boss quickly. Is it dead? How did it die? We'll never know.
That wasn't scary at all, because Hydra definitely was not at 1 HP there, and yes, any projectile would have killed him, basically. So
1 HP, 1 energy.
Get...
He's playing hard mode.
Yeah, and he's still on a really good pace here for him.
Yep, and again, this race has been so close. We're only 40 seconds between the races, and there's not too much that can go wrong on the way to Horu, but whilst you're in Horu, there's a lot of things that could. Ronny is not watching what Hydra's doing, so he doesn't know how well he's doing. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for the warm skip, and he's going for an insane cycle there, and if he will reset after the warm cycle to try and do it another time.
With the way that Ronny is playing, I expect that he kind of... Maybe he wants to scare people a little bit, like show what he can do, because he seems to go for everything. Like he can probably feel safe with the time that he's having right now. But I expect him to just do everything nonetheless. Like these stair cancels right there, so nice.
He is just insane and delicious to watch. He's only at 1 energy right now though. That's quite bad for what he wants to go for. He'll only have 1 energy in the escape. If he goes for the warm skip, which I imagine he is, because he's playing on form right now. And we'll see that in a little bit of time. Meanwhile, Hydra is also going for the insane cycle that Ronny went for, pulls it off, and he takes a little bit of a bonk on the head there, but... Oh, and another one! He's trying to knock Ori unconscious. Someone called Peter.
And Hydra looks like he was 35 seconds behind his PB at the grenade tree, so he's actually at the mid-29 pace for him right now. Of course, he's only at 2 energy. He also does warm skip, technically, so he might have wanted a little bit more energy.
Yeah, we see Ronny dipping out of the warm skip. He did miss it first try on his other run, so he might not be feeling too confident with it now. But it'll be interesting to see if the reason behind not going for warm skip. I know he does it in his normal runs and is very comfortable with the trick, so not taking it there, he might have not been comfortable with the energy. But it's surprising to see him not go for that on a run like this.
And he does not watch Hydra. Maybe it would have been like a decision knowing how far behind Hydra is, because basically a death in the escape would put them on even ground right now. But I guess he will probably join us for the interview, so we can ask him right there. This is Kuro.
Oh no, he takes it down!
Oh Jesus!
This means that Hydra is right on his tail at the moment. Oh my god.
He's skipping warm, so he's making up some time over Ronny right there. Ronny cannot afford to take any damage right here. Okay, Hydra misses the warm skip actually. This gives Ronny a little bit more of a leeway. We see if Hydra attempts it again. He does attempt it again. Meanwhile, Ronny on the left side, going into the water. Does not 2 damage. Okay, this looks fine. Yeah, he's out there. Hydra is in his escape right now. Does not spawn Kuro Ronny on the left side. Oh god, this is so much happening right now at the same time. Now he's setting up for the grenade jump.
And he makes it. Wow.
Wow, okay.
Roller coaster ride of a race. Oh my god.
And Hydra's so close to him, over on the right.
He's gonna die to the water.
Okay, yeah, he took a little bit too much damage to the fish right there. Now this is just, don't worry about it. This is just warm skip being warm skip. Game storage is a weird thing. I hope Hydra does not have the weird rock at the end of the escape that tends to be there.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He died earlier in the swim, so I don't think the rock spawned, but we will find out in about 30 seconds whether or not it's there and he has to restart it. And Ronnie coming in at the end there with a 28.58. That is such an impressive time to get in a race with a death at the end as well. GG to our winner, Ronnie.
Okay, so no rock for Hydra. This swim looks fine now. Does not spawn Kuro, and he will be lining up for his grenade jump and get a very low 30, most likely. GG to Hydra.
Yep, we see the single-digit 30 coming out there. He'll be a lot happier with that time. It's a shame. The ending for both of these runners was extremely messy, but congratulations to both runners for making it through Nibble Forest.
This was definitely the race we wanted to see, wouldn't you agree, Elo? Like, it was so close.
Yes. Like, for so much of this run, they were both on PB form. They were racing their hearts out. It's just what you want to see from the entire tournament. So I'd like to thank both of the runners for showing us how good this game can look.
So final time for Hydra is a 34.41. So that's only about like 1 minute difference between both of the runs. That's pretty much the difference between their PBs. So,
yep. Whew, that is exactly the race I expected from both of these guys. Top of the class. Beautiful to watch. So it looks like we will be trying to get these guys in for an interview to talk about the madness that we just seen happen. Because I've got some questions.
oh yeah, me too.
Oh, unfortunately, we did just get an update, and Ronnie will not be able to participate in the interview, but we do have Hydra available, so we'll be asking him a bunch of questions. Hello, Hydra.
Hello.
How are you doing, man? That race at the end was really, really good. You guys were so close. Were you watching the stream at all?
I was watching the stream, yeah. I saw Ronnie touch that death in the escape. I don't know what it was to, I just know he restarted it. And at that moment I was like, okay, if he dies once more, I have a chance.
Yeah, it was super close.
He didn't die once more.
He spawned Kuro.
Oh, man.
It looked like he panicked. He dashed over at the side, and Kuro just clipped him before he got to safety.
Oh, rough.
Yeah. Spark, do you want to question our fellow runner?
Sure, so we have quite some questions actually about these races, because both of these races were pretty unique, I'd say, especially maybe especially for you, Hydra. Like, for example, in the first race, you had a pretty nice pace up until the Sora area, where basically everything went wrong, kind of, but to the same things really. So you spent quite a lot of time in the Sora area at the end, actually. So
Sure did.
walk us through your thoughts maybe about the first race, and then maybe about how well you did in the second race.
Okay, so the first race, it all started when I leveled up map markers at Double Jump Tree.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
For the backup for that, I grabbed the Hero Cutscene cell, and I mean, it was solved from there, but that in itself caused some strange issues in terms of just me not having Quick Flame in Misty. That messed me up a little bit. Not like, it wasn't significant, but it was a difference, and that was what mattered.
Yeah.
The difference caused my charge dashes to not do what I had expected them to do, because I was always used to Whip Flame on the lanterns and such and all that. And yeah, I don't know.
But despite that first race, that second race was pretty much impeccable up until the late game, maybe. And how did you manage just to clear your mind from the first race, all of the mistakes, going into the second race? Were you less worried after you've died so many times that you're like, I've done all the deaths possible, I'm not gonna die in the second race now?
That was kind of why I really wanted to just try my best in that first race. Yeah. In Misty, I reset it a few times. One of them I think was intentional, just because I wanted to do that segment once more, just to make sure I had it down. For the next race, of course, which I think worked pretty well. My no resets generally are like that, in that they, if I mess something up, I'll redo it a bunch until I am confident that I am just like going to hit it to the next run. So that's kind of how I took that first race, after noticing I was minutes behind.
Yeah, that was the best solution to the problem that you had there. So hats off to you for putting in the practice when you could, and it definitely paid off in that second race. So GG on that race.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else from you, Spark?
Just maybe again, these questions are pretty general, but like, you didn't practice too much for this tournament, Hydra. Are you happy with how your tournament turned out to be?
I am, yeah. I honestly would have preferred being like seed number 15 going into a bracket stage, but you know, you take what you get. Being seed 16 was good, but it meant that I had to face Ronnie in round of 16, so...
You're directly in the middle of everyone. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, nice spot.
That's all.
But yeah, that's all I have, Ellen.
Cool. Well, if you guys, wait there, Hydra, GG on the race, and thank you for showing us everything that you did in that second race.
Ah, thank you,
It was
Elo.
beautiful to watch.
Much appreciated.
Anyway, for all of you beautiful viewers, if you still have a little bit of taste for the Ori races, we do have one later on in the day. It is Shed versus Hitachi Hex, and that is going to be one hell of a race, you guys. Definitely tune into that. It's at 11 PM EST. And then the next match, unfortunately, you'll have to wait all the way till Saturday, which is Cheese Lover versus Wilson. That will also be a great match, and I think that's it from me. Any final words, Spark? It's been emotional.
Oh, it has been very emotional, so I definitely want to take a little bit of time again to thank you, especially Elo, for going through this emotional series of races with me. And then, of course, I wanted to thank our restreamer Griffs and our truck Pugel and Grease, keeping us posted throughout these tight races. It really helped. Thank you all so much.
It's been an experience, Spark. We shall see you all in the next race. Enjoy your evenings.
See